This video will show you how to replace a lower ball joint on a Subaru Outback. This is part of your front steering and suspension, located behind your front wheel. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. To replace this, we have to safely raise and support the front of our vehicle so the wheel's off the ground. Once you've done that, we're going to continue on to removing all 5 of our 19mm lug nuts. If your vehicle has a locking lug nut, you're going to want to have the lug nut key. Take that key, we're going to rest it on the locking lug nut and turn it one direction or the other until it feels as though it's seated. Now let's remove all 5 of these lug nuts. Now that we have the wheel off, we're looking behind the brakes and the backing plate. In this area, located on the lower control arm, you can see your lower ball joint. To remove this ball joint, you're going to find that you have a pinch bolt holding the ball joint into your steering knuckle. What you're going to find is you not only have a pinch bolt, but if you were looking on the inboard side here, there's a small slit. That pinch bolt is holding that slit together. We're going to use some penetrant in this area. Use a 14mm to remove your pinch bolt. After you have it out, a quick inspection, set it aside. We'll turn the steering wheel into a direction where we can gain access to that slit. Now what we need to do is gently spread those 2 ears from each other. I have a pry bar. This is the type that you can hit on the end of. You want to be extremely careful. Now let's start driving this in here, separating those 2 ears. Now we're going to have to separate the ball joint from the steering knuckle. While we have this gently separated, we want to cause some vibration, driving the control arm down. You can either use a hammer, or you can use an air hammer, whatever you have access to. We're paying attention in this area right along the steering knuckle. Now, once you have that separated, we're looking along the bottom of the control arm next. Here's where we can see our lower ball joint mounting nut. Commonly, there's going to be a cotter pin. If there is, you want to remove that before removing the nut. I'm just going to use some cutters for that. Go ahead and dispose of that. We'll use a 19mm for that mounting nut. Once you have it off of there, just a quick inspection. We're going to start it back on a couple threads. Continue on with a hammer and a pickle fork. We're going to separate the ball joint from the lower control arm. Pull down on that control arm, we should be able to remove our ball joint. There it is, friend. Prior to installation of any brand new parts, clean and inspect all mounting surfaces. We're going to start with our control arm. I'm just using a wire brush. Double check, make sure nothing's rotted or weak. Continue on to your steering knuckle next. We're looking along the lower portion of this into the port. We'll use some parts cleaner. Continuing on, you can use a wire brush, you could use a piece of fine sandpaper if necessary. Just make sure it's a clean surface. Once you have it cleaned and inspected, apply some copper anti-seize. Let's continue on by setting this aside so we can insert the ball joint into the lower control arm first. Now we can install our brand new lower ball joint. We're going to start with the area that goes into the control arm first. Pull down on the control arm as necessary and rest it in position. Once that's slid through, continue on with your mounting nut. For that mounting nut, go ahead and snug it up and then torque it to 29 foot-pounds. Once you have it torqued, we need to pay attention to the slots on the mounting nut in comparison to the port that makes its way through the ball joint stud. We need to have a slot aligned so we can install the locking cotter pin. If it's not, continue tightening the nut until the very next slot is. After that, install that cotter pin. Now I can tell mine is not aligned. With that installed, it's time to get the ball joint into the lower portion of our steering knuckle. We'll pull down on the control arm, align the ball joint with the knuckle, and then we'll start pressing this up. If you need to, you can tap on this with a rubber mallet. Now, as you can tell, it's not completely bottomed out. Let's continue on. There we are. Now you can tell I'm completely seated. We'll continue on with our brand new pinch bolt. Our brand new pinch bolt came with a brand new locking washer. I also like to use some blue thread locker. We'll start this in by hand, snug it up. The torque for this is 37 foot-pounds. Check that. Now just one last quick inspection in this area to confirm everything's torqued as it needs to be. One last quick inspection in this area and we can reinstall our wheel. Once you have the wheel in place, we're going to tighten all 5 of our 19mm lug nuts. If you do have a wheel lock, of course you're going to snug that as well. We'll get the wheel back on the ground and then we can torque each of these to 90 foot-pounds. We've got the wheel back on the ground. We're going to be torquing each of our lug nuts in a crisscross manner to that 90 foot-pounds. Torqued. Go ahead and remove that key. Okay, friend, we finished our installation of the lower ball joint. Take your vehicle for a road test down to your local alignment shop. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.